Hi there, my name is Justin. This is Jordana. She's going to be my client for today. Now, we actually went over the GXT, the graded exercise test, a couple weeks prior to this, so we do have some VO2 max estimates for her. Now, what kind of aerobic training are you used to, Jordana?
I do cardio every time I work out, and I swam competitively in high school.
And how often do you do cardio per week?
Probably about 4 times a week.
Okay, about 4 times a week. And so she is pretty familiar with cardiorespiratory training. And today we're going to do a VO2 max interval training session, just to kind of see if we can push that anaerobic threshold. So in her VO2 max assessment, we determined that her VO2 max was approximately 46.4 milliliters per kilogram per minute. And so we're going to be training in a range with her maximum being about 90% and her rest or relief periods at about 40%. So that's going to equate to about 6.7 miles per hour in her really active phases and about 2.6 miles per hour in her relief phases. So she's going to be doing phases of about 2 minutes of active and then 3 minutes of passive or relief training. And we're going to do this about 6 or 7 times, and just see how this is for her. This is her first training session, so we're just going to want to take a lot of this by feel, just to make sure she's comfortable with the program that we're doing here. And now the reason I started with 90% instead of 100 for her upper range is just because we don't want to push anything too far on the first try. So we're just going to go ahead and get started here. Jordana has already done a warm-up. She stretched her legs out, and she's going to do a couple minutes at 2.6, actually 3 minutes at 2.6, and then that'll be halfway through your first interval here. How is that speed for you?
It's pretty good.
Is it nice and slow?
It's nice and slow.
Yeah. And do you think it's going to be suitable for after you exert a lot of energy doing your higher speed limits there?
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. And so the purpose of this exercise is to kind of push her anaerobic limits and just try and increase her VO2 max by pushing her anaerobic threshold. So we just finished up the second interval here. So Jordana is starting her third interval with the light speed at 2.6 miles per hour, and that's in the 40% of her VO2 max range. I'm going to do this for another 3 minutes, and then go back up to 6.7 miles per hour for 2 minutes. And how was that running for you?
It was tough,
Yeah.
but it was the relief period helped.
Yeah. Is it a goal of yours to get better at endurance running or cardiorespiratory training?
Yeah, I'd like to be able to run a marathon one day.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. You definitely want a higher VO2 max for that then, just because it's so demanding on your body. It's already in a really good range, but
Would be nice to have it a little higher.
yeah, for sure.
I get out of breath pretty easily.
Yeah. Are you active in any other sports right now, or is that just in high school?
Just in high school, I just go to the gym a lot.
Okay. What's your favorite thing to do at the gym?
I think it would be probably squats or deadlifting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some pretty heavy power exercises.
Yeah.
Do you ever like neglect cardio training because you're training squats or deadlifts and it like really impacts your legs or anything like that?
Sometimes I just get tired of cardio.
Yeah.
But I try to keep it a regular thing just so that I don't lose progress.
Yeah. Alright, so we're coming up to the end of the 3rd minute here in this interval. And so we're going to push the speed up to 6.7 miles per hour and then just go from there. Half a minute in already, so about a quarter of the way there. Jordana looks pretty comfortable with this. She's not showing any signs of bad form or anything like that, so we can kind of assume that she's in a comfortable position right now. About halfway there. Done 1 minute to go. Just half a minute here. 1 minute left. Alright, good job. Now we're going to go back down to 2.6 miles per hour. How was that for you?
Not bad.
Not bad? Do you feel like it's pushing you to your upper limits?
It's definitely a push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're going to do about 3 minutes of relief again, and then kick it back up to 6.7 miles per hour. And a lot of this training is based on what the client feels. So if they feel like they're being pushed a lot, that's fantastic. That's what we want to see. But we don't want them to overexert themselves or feel uncomfortable at all. And so I think Jordana is in a pretty comfortable range here. However, maybe in further training sessions we could push the envelope a little bit further and maybe go to like 95% of her VO2 max or something like that, just to increase the speed just a little bit more. Just because it's a bit of trial and error. We have to see how Jordana feels and what she's comfortable with. We're not always going to have the correct number on our sheet when we do the assessment the first time. feel comfortable to do a few more intervals still?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So Jordana has just finished up her last training interval there, and so we're just going to do a cool down here. It's going to be another relief period, just because we don't really want to end on a high there. We want to gradually decrease the heart rate and return it back to normal. So we're going to do a relief period here. So it's going to be a kind of a recovery for the entire session. So we're just going to continue doing the 2.6 miles per hour for about 3 minutes here. And how are you feeling now, Jordana?
Tired but good.
Yeah. You feel like that training session was pretty exhausting?
It was quite tiring, yeah.
Yeah. But not, do you feel like you're gonna
Pass out or anything?
pass out or anything? Okay, perfect. So we're done about a minute now. And then we're gonna do 2 minutes more of this active recovery, and then about 2 minutes on the chair just for some passive recovery. So what's your opinion on interval training?
Interval training is some of my favorite training.
Yeah.
Just because I have to push myself a little bit, still have that rest period.
Yeah.
Sprinting for long amount of times, I'm not very good at it.
Yeah.
So this lets me, I guess, train hard without getting too exhausted.
Yeah, and you get to take a break once in a while, which
Yeah.
is kind of nice. Have you done interval training before, or are you going to start incorporating it more?
When I do run the gym, I'll like to do interval training.
Yeah.
I'll probably incorporate it more, for sure.
Yeah. And now it's good to do somewhat of an idea of what kind of interval training will help you push your VO2 max and your anaerobic threshold.
Yeah, it's good to know.
Alright, so we have about 20 seconds left. So Jordana, do you feel sufficiently cooled down?
I do.
Yeah, okay. So in about 10 seconds we're going to stop the treadmill, and she can just take a seat on the chair here. Good job.
Thank you.
Just go ahead and take a seat on the chair. And then we're going to do about 2 minutes of passive recovery, as well as go over her results. So the results of this showed that she was working pretty hard, and she was definitely in the upper limits of what she can do. However, I think there is still like a little bit of room for a higher speed there, just because she wasn't breathing insanely hard or anything like that. So it'd be good to maybe do 95% of her VO2 max, just to see kind of what that does, if she can still maintain the proper form, the proper breathing, stuff like that. But at least you know now that your intervals between 40% and then 90% are going to help you push your anaerobic threshold, and that roughly equates to about 2.6 miles per hour and 6.7 miles per hour.
Cool.
So you can definitely experiment with that a little bit on your own, or you can come and talk to me again about it. And especially when you are doing cardiorespiratory training, you're going to want to reassess every once in a while. Probably do a VO2 max test every maybe like month or two, just so you can reevaluate and redesign your programs based on your progress that you're making.
Sounds good.
Perfect. And how are you feeling now? Do you feel nice and rested out?
I feel great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
thank you so much for doing this with me today.
Thank you.
Have a good day.